Welcome back. Game number 2 currently underway. Again, sorry if the ads are still running. We'll give it like another 10 seconds because sometimes they bleed over, but we stopped them early just for you because we love yous. Spawning at the top left side of Bridgehead. It's going to be HuK Gaming's Yellow Zerg, CatZ.
And on the right side of Bridgehead, it's the red Protoss, HuK.
Alright, so I think HuK gets a bit of love for that game. Not just for the boldness of going for a 4K on one base, but his decision making and everything leading up to the follow. I mean, CatZ at the same time gets a lot of respect because his defense was almost flawless. It was going to be really hard to break, and the DTs finally did it.
Yeah, I think it definitely would have been a struggle if without the DTs, but even then that might have still worked out. Because you imagine they wouldn't have gotten the Dark Shrine and all the money in the DTs, but those DTs definitely, by themselves, they probably could have done enough. They were doing so much damage. The Overseer just wasn't ready. He kept on, like, I think, trying to make it, and I think they might have even sniped once or twice. They totally wrecked, so... That was a weird game, but we might even have a weirder one here, as of course CatZ goes for the proxy hatch.
Of course, of course. Now, I don't know that this... I just feel like we've seen this so many times through what we cast in Home Story Cup and what we've seen here in the WCS qualifiers, and there's been no situation where this has really worked out well. It's been scary, it's been endearing, but it's never, like, won out.
But we've seen.
Does HuK know? Okay, he knows. Just making sure.
Yeah, checked.
Does it want to be one of those things where, like, he went, like, most of the way but barely missed it?
Yeah, it would have sucked. Oh, what is HuK's response to this? Obviously, he didn't have a forge, so you can't just throw a bunch of cannons. You can get zealots. You can try to get 2 zealots, in fact, and there he goes, cornering them out right now.
Oh, wow. Hey, quick bracket update, too, just while this starts off. Guitar Cheese beats Puck, and Believe beats State. Those are the exact opposite predictions I had for who was going to win those series. So, I mean, congratulations to both, of course, but it's going to be Believe versus Guitar Cheese in the other semifinals after this one. Now, as we know, a Zealot is going to get damage, but cannot exactly tear down this hatchery quickly. I like that HuK's actually starting up some SimCity here as well. It's kind of part of your normal build, but also takes the precaution of just making sure that if he can't handle this, he's got a plan B. I actually really respect that choice. It's cool.
It's so funny because this is the only map you can really do this on.
Right? Yeah, we get like a wall off here.
Yeah, that doesn't include a ramp at least, right? Like,
yeah.
This is... It looks funny, but it is what you would do against, I guess, another type of proxy hatch on another map. And you know, try and get that wall off to make sure that lings don't flood in. Because what is CatZ doing on the other side of the map? HuK doesn't really know. He can't get a probe over there. Well, I guess he could, but he walled himself completely out, so that was his fault. So he has no idea if there are 20 roaches about to try and, you know, kill him or not. So he's got to play it safe.
I think it's actually really cool the way HuK does this, because he did it before in the previous set where he fully walls it off, yeah, but then he opens the wall by killing one of the rocks. There's not a lot of times where I've been like, man, that terrain was really cool and definitely helped improve the map, but that's a cool feature. I like that it's been figured out already.
Oh. Well, he breaks through and not only sends a probe out, but he sends a couple of zealots with it. So he does have 3 gateways. He's going on to a 4th one. It's all in one base. It's looking very similar. It's sounding very similar. But in this situation, I found it a little more understandable. You know, like he literally took your natural, so you have no choice but to initially 4-gate.
Oh no.
That's supposed to be a scout, and you're not supposed to lose it.
I mean, yeah.
GG.
That had the energy for a time warp. Maybe he could have escaped with a time warp. A recall immediately. He was definitely not expecting 3 queens to be waiting for him. So, HuK, that wasn't a small mistake. That was a major move. That was his high ground vision. That was the recall potential to get out of there alive if he fucked up. Like that was bad.
It was really bad.
CatZ is prepped for this too. This is expected.
Yeah. Has at least 1 transfuse. There it goes, and that means you can't break it. Now with the queens and the lings too. And maybe more lings, maybe more roaches behind this. HuK has officially failed at this. Is this game number 2?
This is game number 2. Zombie Grub. HuK's up 1-0.
Okay. So, you know, HuK losing this isn't the worst thing in the world. He's still going to try and make this attack work. He's not getting a Nexus quite yet, but it's not going to work. 7 roaches are on the way.
Yeah, the queens are in danger, and this looks scary, but The roaches are what really shuts this down.
Yeah. It's almost like... I guess CatZ is only on 2 base, so you wouldn't GG here as HuK, but it is quite scary to see that he is prepped so well against that attack. Another thing to HuK's credit is that he did not spend much gas on that. He was warping sentries back at home, so his support units didn't die there.
Well, the counterattack is going to find a pretty nice way into the back of HuK's base. It is fully walled off with a lot of sentries on this side, but I'm surprised HuK doesn't predict this being the case.
There you go. He remembers. It's like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe I should look at these back rocks.
It's almost a little too late, though. The sentries aren't going to reposition themselves, though. I guess the one upside to this, unlike maps like Expedition Lost, which had really close back rocks to the other entrances, HuK would have to go so far on the map. But, no, he's just able to move in here pretty quickly. Or sorry, CatZ would have to go so far on the map, pardon me. Sentry does go down. Nothing too devastating. But even just the presence of being here constantly forces out more force fields.
Yeah, that was a scary amount of lings hitting through there, and they were trying to target down a couple of sentries, so good control by HuK to let that happen. And now the pylon's up, he'll be able to put down a couple of gateways to wall off, but still doesn't have the ability to make cannons. He never got a forge, instead went for a robo. So that's always something he's have to worry about, and always have to be aware that a counterattack could really screw him up. The Zealot's gonna hold strong here, nicely done.
I like the HuK's paying attention too. I mean, it quickly warps in that sentry. It wasn't even like, I don't know, lazy about it.
Yeah.
Funny way to phrase it, but no complacency, I guess, is what I mean to say.
Yeah, after getting so like hardcore shut down in the attack, his follow-up is pretty perfect. Very calm, knows what he wants to do, and everything is going a-okay. And CatZ, he never took a 3rd base, so he isn't looking so hot in his economy. He's up drone, he's up workers. He's gonna be up a lot of workers with 10 more on the way. So it's hard to say where this is because HuK on 2 bases versus 2 bases, it's okay for Protoss, but on such low the probe count, it's not so good. And CatZ is going up to Hydralisk already, and I feel like that back door is going to be a big problem for HuK. I'm not sure how he's going to be able to defend it when he has basically gateway units. He's going to have an observer in case CatZ went for Roach burrow shenanigans, which is a good call. It's definitely one of the options, but it's not the option CatZ chose. It's going to be a little more direct. It's going to be just about the army. And HuK's going to have gateway units with no upgrades. Deal with it.
Well, the mothership core floating around kind of indicates there's something coming for this, and HuK does have a very sizable force on this way. And he should be able to knock down the 3rd at the bare minimum.
Yeah, he'll be able to get it killed just because the units aren't quite ready in position, but he's going to have to recall, I think.
Yeah, the Hydra's going to be a little too much.
Yeah, doesn't even get the hatchery. There you go.
A little bit disappointing too, because this is CatZ taking every opportunity to keep stepping ahead. Now, it sounds funny to say, but HuK's choice to like retreat out of this is probably the best choice he could have made. I mean, the recall obviously isn't bad either, but I mean, like just actually getting away from the army because he can't fight that. I think he knows it. Trying to use the bridges on Bridgehead, I like that a lot.
Bold move.
It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off. It forces chokes, and I think that's what matters the most. The key element to it.
It's a little awkward. You just went over how it's not like Expedition Lost, and getting to your base through the other ramp it's quite a ways to go. So HuK, yeah, he could get back to his main base, but it would take him 40 seconds. So he has to kind of decide. Or recall. Well, yeah, that's true, but I don't know if he thought about that.
No, he didn't, as he floated the mothership core
yeah,
over the Nexus,
I didn't.
Anticipating the photon overcharge.
Either he didn't think of it, or he really wants both the photon overcharge and a time warp, which that is not bad either. It's not a bad idea. The thing is that he's warping in so many units that the more you look at these armies, the more it's less about CatZ and more about HuK actually collapsing in on him, sandwiching him. This could be a problem for CatZ if HuK does this correctly.
I mean, I guess the thing is, CatZ did get that 3rd up really late. He's not going to have as much juice to drive this on as long as HuK might. And the thing with HuK is he's should be able to retain units a lot better than CatZ will. I mean, look at this engagement, for example. He doesn't devastate CatZ's supply, but he takes enough of it without losing almost any.
I'm not sure what's up with CatZ. Banks a lot of money here. No larva. That definitely explains it. Absolutely no larva. So That sucks.
Oh, did
Maybe
he
throw
not?
down a...
How many queens does
What?
he have? He's got 3 queens. That's weird that he wouldn't have any larva to work with.
I don't know, but the point is that really held him up there, and that did turn on its head. That was exactly what HuK was looking for when he saw CatZ taking advantage of the back doors, and it worked out perfectly. He took on a nice chunk of fairly expensive units in Hydralisk, and he saved, I don't think he lost a single unit, like maybe a Zebla or something. So everything's looking up for HuK after that really quite failed 4-gate, and CatZ is now the one that has to be, I think, a little worried. He's the one that has no upgrades, but Hydras are still pretty good. But only Hydras is kind of like, the glass cannon effect. They look good, but really they go down fast.
Well, it's the same sort of situation for HuK, too, with these Stalkers. They're on +1 weapons, not +2, and Blink's still not done. He can't really continue to force on engagements. He was kind of pushing his luck with that defense. But with Blink finishing here any second, that's when HuK gets to kind of rock and roll. That's when he gets to start showing off his top 3 control with that Blink micro and taking really good engagements.
Yeah, Blink changes a lot. Even without Blink, I think good Force Fields would have been able to do a whole lot, but now Force Field plus Blink, plus a Time Warp potentially, and I think HuK is looking really good in this game. It all goes down to, it all depends on these Force Fields, though.
Well, actually, I hope that's not the case. Recall, perhaps. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. He gets the donut, but his forces are split in such a...
Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
Yeah, I'm really not sure if he was just planning to try and run around and maybe get some, sometimes you get like those 4 Stalkers that'll blink through and they'll do some good damage, but this was kind of messed up, I guess.
Yeah, he left his proxy pylon and he went into the one place that is very much so a concave position for the Zerg player. So that lined up nicely for CatZ, and I'm not sure we did that. This is better, right? He gets them on a ramp. The concave is in HuK's favor this time. Now the force fields are all gone, but he takes down a huge chunk of CatZ's army.
Oh yeah, and the Guardian Shields just kick ass here. Now HuK, I think, wanted for the offensive blink, but the train kind of messed that up. Awkward. Unit counting station, though, it's looking so much better for HuK. He's just managed to retain so many units in these engagements. It kind of reminds me like when we watch Terran play. The medevacs keep small portions of units alive. The Blink's kind of doing the same thing. High ground advantage. Yeah, it's looking like it. CatZ. The Hydras are the right answer. They're a good way to deal with Stalkers, but you got to have that next element with them. Either Lings at the front or Roaches as well. He's getting Roaches, I feel, almost too late. He was sticking up pure Hydras for too long. Hell. Yeah. Fungal Growth would have been magic a long time ago as well. There's just a lot of little things CatZ could have done. But in this situation, I just don't think he has the tools necessary to properly fight this.
This is also a really nice position for HuK to be able to get back here and deny mining on that 3rd base. This is going to be a lot of all-ins I foresee in the future for Bridgehead are going to be about finding this position for the Protoss player. Yeah,
Mothership Core goes down, but the Blink is... the Blinks are showing to be quite good as we continue watching these Stalkers. Some die, but barely. Many get away. The Hydras are starting to get in here, but keep in mind, everything HuK's been doing down here has kind of actually been to a disadvantage. He hasn't been using his own high ground against his opponent, and he's still taking a really good fight. CatZ filtering in with drones. He pulls a lot of the Lings. He's down to 29 workers. Even if HuK loses everything, I still think the worker count is going to carry him through this game, if nothing else.
I think this went worse than it should have. Like you were saying, he wasn't using his own high ground to his advantage. So it's really close at the end of the day. But right, HuK has the better production, I think, off the back of this.
And I guess technically he wouldn't have had the high ground. I forgot the creep tunes are up here, so CatZ could see everything.
Well, he would have had the concave, right?
Exactly,
like he was actually pushing his units apart because they were going into that little space off to the left for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, things are now kind of a little awkward. The army count's still okay. The upgrades finished for CatZ a while ago, too. Somehow he got to Hive?
Yeah, I actually completely missed that. I don't know when, how, what, or where, but I don't think the Vipers will save him at this point. It's still a situation where the army supplies aren't so bad. With a couple of spine crawlers, they can do good jobs versus the Stalkers, but HuK's just trying to take very little damage. He's not fighting to the last second of the Stalkers having red health. He's just blinking away the second they hit that shield marker. So, again, this is not going so badly for him at all. Now, there's no transition for HuK. That's what's scary, right? He's starting to look towards a 3rd. He's long-distance mining even.
Exactly. This is where things are a little awkward, because CatZ on a low drone count came on to his 3rd. They're both running out of both their main and naturals. HuK completely out of his main. That's why as long as he's mining, but there goes the 3rd. If CatZ had, say, 35 drones and healthy mining on a 3rd base that was somewhere else...
What?
I think it's soccer. Really?
What?
Okay.
It went through the wall, too.
I don't know about that one. But I think, CatZ might be doing better, okay-ish, but because he was denied mining, because he had so low of drone counts, and he lost most of the fodder for the Hydras, he's probably still going to lose. But I think HuK made it a little closer than maybe it should have been.
Well, you know, the problem is both players are running low on economy. CatZ is almost mining out of his main. HuK's mining out of his main. It's going to be down to like this one base versus one base situation, and I think the retention of Blink Stalkers just again, saving one or two here and there, that's what's going to carry this game.
Yeah.
Unless HuK takes a really bad engagement, just A moves into Blinding Clouds, in which case, well, then it's, you know, good luck, have fun.
HuK might be playing the best option here, and that's just looking to expand. I don't know. Hard to say. He's got to figure that CatZ is not in a good economy. His base is mining out, so CatZ's base is probably mining out. And he's banking on the fact that HuK or CatZ does not have a hatchery to the north, like where HuK's taking his base. And he'd be right on that one. But it's a dangerous, like, to pull back. I don't know. It might work out. Now he takes the defensive engagement.
Yeah, he was setting up for setting up his base, but a couple of force fields go down. Guardian Shield's going to be very important. I guess that's something he was lacking, keeping in mind for that big Blink war that went down.
Whoa. He walks to the other Blinding Cloud a little. That was a little awkward there.
Yeah, but the Hydras were still zoned up with the force field, so he didn't lose too much for it. Blink's on top of his opponent, gets really aggressive through this, and CatZ is going to bleed out what little units he has left. Retreating back with the Vipers? To what avail? There's nothing to retreat to. Yeah,
so pulling back, HuK pulling back was the right move, because he had sentries back there gaining energy. That was really important, and plus he still had decent protection off of one mining base, so his stalker count, it was retained, it grew. Sentries add so much to it, and CatZ, that was his last army.
Yeah.
The army he's getting now is barely an army, it's a militia.
It's going to be heartbreaking for CatZ as well, because keep in mind, guys, this is, well, not branded as the last chance qualifier. It is the last chance for any North American players to get into WCS Season 3. There's a last chance qualifier tomorrow, but that's strictly for the Europeans.
Yeah, exactly. And that one's a little differently, too. I guess we'll talk about that out of this game. Yeah, this is over. GG, well played.
Good luck is even called. HuK will go to the finals, where he'll fight against the winner of Guitar Cheese and Believe. So we have another ZvP on the other half of the bracket for us. I believe